Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next one comes from Rule OCA. And this was in response to again the Korg Nautilus 80 Grey and Moog Shuck Factory Shop SMR I did in July 2024. And Rahul writes, I was in higher education maybe 15 years ago. One time I was grading tests when a young grad student dropped by sporting a metallic grey hair. Judging from the lack of special editions that do not show up on eBay or Reverb, people are buying these things and keeping them. And you know what, this is a really interesting point. I agree that people do not appear to be parting with the special editions. You see quite a few normal editions come onto the market, but the special editions do not seem to be moving. I see very few, if I go back to the Kronos, I see very few titaniums, golds, silvers, or the sunburst one, the SE, I think it's the SE, actually come across the market. I see lots and lots of standard edition, which is what this is behind me. So I probably would agree with you on that particular point. If they get put into a studio and they're not being gigged, so would I have taken a special edition on the road? Probably not. Would I have taken a normal edition on the road and had the special edition in my studio? Yes, I would have done. And I see a lot of people with the special editions kind of doing that sort of thing, which is when they decide that they're going to upgrade to the next keyboard, they keep the special edition and part off the one they're not gigging with anymore. But another reason why the special editions is rare is they have a specific configuration, and also they're not normally manufactured in a very large number. So compared with the number of standards to special editions that are manufactured, it's quite a small percentage. So you know, the law of averages says that you're going to see fewer of special editions come across the portals than you are going to see of the main stuff. Next one comes from Colin Lemon. And in response to Yamaha Montage and Korg Kronos VST, a mailbag I did in May 2024. And Carlene writes, I've literally been waiting years for a Kronos VST. Just please give it full functionality so it can import the hundreds of sounds and songs I've already programmed, unlike the Triton VST. I'm not sure why they would have gimped it like that. And this is an interesting concept. I mean, I struggle with the business model around the VSTs. Many people have said, oh yeah, you get the VST, but you still buy the main keyboard. I do struggle with that. Why would you buy the main keyboard when you can buy the VST? Anyway, that aside, the software-driven Montage has been released by Yamaha. And I do wonder whether Korg will start to look at whether they're going to release the VST version of the Nautilus or Kronos in the same vein. Because at the end of the day, all this thing is a computer engine that's generating the synthesis. So you could probably move it from the Kronos onto a VST platform. The only downside to the whole VST piece is that whereas these things tend to run on a Linux kernel, so that they can get the sort of high functionality, the high polyphonic rate, the multiple simultaneous sound generation that these things are famous for. if you try to put it onto a PC, the way the PC architecture works is not the same way as a real-time Linux kernel works. So you're probably going to end up with a lot of high CPU memory usage to try and keep up, and that sort of kind of has a detriment to the other side of it. It's funny because talking about this with Gary at the Death Beats, one of the things he's noticed with some of the VSTs that are coming out for legacy pieces of kit is the fact that yes, it does it, but he just sees that the CPU and the memory use on these computers just lock up. It doesn't bumble along, it just goes boom. And that gives an indication of how hard it is having to work to try and reproduce what was being done by a hardware synthesizer.